Hello and welcome to Running for the Bus, presented by BKDMC, supported by Runna and hosted by me, Ben Kelleher. Joining me today in the studio here in London is Ben Griffiths. Ben ran 310 kilometres over a month for Dementia UK in 2024, and in 2025 he is having a year of firsts, taking on his first ever marathon, first full IRONMAN, and first modelling shoot as well, right?
Exactly.
All whilst documenting the journey and supporting others to grow, particularly in cycling by his rapidly growing social profile at It's Ben Griff. Ben, it's so great to have you here, mate. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks so much for having me. Really appreciate it.
It's a total pleasure. Thank you. Thanks a lot. And thanks for doing this on a super hot sort of summer's night here in London. So appreciate it. Could you give our listeners just a little, and watchers as well, actually, just a little background on you and what your day-to-day looks like in general?
Yeah, so, blimey, day to day, people think I just ride bikes.
Yeah, that's it, right?
Yeah, I wish it was. I wish it was. No, full-time, I'm actually a lawyer, solicitor. Yeah. I do later lifetime care, things like that.
Sure.
So that very much takes up the majority of my day.
Yeah.
When I'm not doing that, I very much am swim, bike, run,
yeah.
Especially in the prep for Ironman at the moment.
Yeah.
It just takes up so much of my day. And then I try and make a few reels about it when I've got the time.
Yeah, which takes time itself, right?
Like, it does. It takes more time than people think.
Yeah. Seeing the quality of the stuff that you put out and different things, that doesn't just happen like that. And on top of everything else that's going on, it's a lot to it.
It's a lot of CapCut time. My screen time isn't good.
Yeah, for sure. A lot of editing on the tube and stuff I expect as well, like on the CapCut.
Exactly. Yeah.
So your style is quite super informative, really, and straight to the facts. I find, like from what I've seen. Mm-hmm. Which I know many people really love. I've talked to people about it, and I know people sort of have said the same to you. Not only that, but you've been really supportive to me. You've given me advice because I've started cycling a bit more lately, and I've sort of said to you that I've a little bit
love to see it. No?
Well, you haven't seen it that much in the flesh. I don't know if you'd love it as much. It's it's definitely something where I'm a bit of a novice, and I've had to ask you and I've asked other people to sort of give me advice and what I need to know, and it's been super helpful. But for somebody like me, perhaps who's getting into it a bit more, or perhaps somebody who's not cycled a lot recently, what's your sort of best advice for anyone that's maybe new to cycling?
I think if you're new to cycling, it's just remember everyone started from the bottom. Yeah. You don't just start on day one and be an incredible cyclist.
Yeah.
I mean, even if you come from a running background, to somewhat extent, they do transfer.
Yeah.
But it's such a new thing. You've got to get used to your bike handling. You've got to know even how clip-in pedals work. That's a big thing some people are scared of.
I had that the other week when I picked up this new bike. I got the clip-in shoes in it, and they were like, "Yeah, you should probably take this to somewhere where it's
somewhere with soft ground."
Soft ground. And so I went to Clapham Common because it's not far from where I live, and took it out, and it was a super hot Saturday, and I'd been around London a bit, and then I took it there. And I was trying to find the quietest part in Clapham Common, which, as you can imagine,
was hard
Saturday in the sun.
Yeah,
it's almost impossible. And it was so bumpy on the bit that I'd found. And ended up coming past these girls that were having this birthday party, and it was me rocking up with my bike, and the whole outfit. And then I was that you could see them looking, being "What's he doing?" And then I went around and did it, and I was doing okay. And then I did fully fall off. Only once, and I felt like it was kind of a badge of honor.
It's part of the process. Yeah. It's inevitable. I remember when I first got my clip-in shoes, I was going up a hill, and I was so tired I just forgot to unclip straight into the road, and it was just so embarrassing.
Yeah,
but it's just part. It's just part of it. It happens to everybody.
Yeah, you've got to get a bit used to it.
Yeah. It's bringing back some flashbacks to get a bit of PTSD.
I bet. So what's that sort of best advice then? Is it just to sort of not, put yourself too hard against it, or?
I think my best advice, to be honest, would be just get stuck in and ride with people who are more experienced than you.
Sure.
You will learn so much in such a short space of time.
Yeah.
It's like when you run with people who have been running for years. They might teach you a bit about form. They might teach you a bit about nutrition.
Yeah.
When people start running, they just get any pair of trainers. They might want to do a long run. They might forget about drinking, nutrition, all that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But you just learn so quickly.
Yeah.
So find a good group, join the novice part of it, and just go out and have fun.
Yeah.
That would be my single biggest piece of advice.
That's great. I love that. That's definitely piece of advice that you can transfer across sports, right, as well.
Exactly.
So for you, obviously, you've done a lot of sort of cycling since then. So, where did that sort of start for you originally?
Blimey, where did it start? So I think I was 17 at the time.
Yeah.
And I had a couple of friends when I was in sixth form, and they were really into triathlon. They'd swam since they were kids, and they were very much coming up into that GB. They were getting their GB tri kit.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I remember it really well.
That is some competition. Yeah. Like, oh, yeah, don't compare yourself to your mates, but your mates are in Team GB.
And it was my friend Jack, and he said, do you want to come for a ride one day? And my dad had this bike in the shed, and it was probably 3 sizes too big. The bars were out here.
Yeah.
And I was like, do you know what? How hard can it be?
Yeah.
Humbled, immediately humbled. And from then I just loved it. I just got,
Really?
I felt a real passion for it.
Yeah.
And it's just the freedom you get with going out on a bike.
Yeah.
I feel with a run, you can go, 10, 15K. But with a bike, you can just go, do you know what? I'm going to go to Brighton from London today.
Yeah.
And you can see so much of the world. So I kind of just fell in love with it.
Yeah.
And the rest has just been history. It's
just gone from there.
It's just spiraled out of control. Suddenly I'm making reels for Instagram, teaching people.
Well, that's the sort of next question I was going to ask, really. It's like, what then made you decide to start like documenting that journey?
So I think, the past couple of years, triathlon has sort of become even more popular.
Yeah.
I think it started in the UK when the Brownlees, there's that famous clip of them carrying each other over the line. Triathlon kind of blew up then. And I honestly think the past couple of years, people have started running. Running's blown up in London.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
People have got injured, and they thought, maybe I'll swim and bike as well.
Yeah.
Now suddenly everyone loves triathlon.
Yeah, I mean, that's what they say, right? If you get injured in running, they're like, well, go cycling instead, or go for a swim instead, or, so
Exactly.
maybe that's it. Just...
And I think that's maybe where the triathlon second wind has come from.
Yeah.
And I think because I'd been doing it for so many years, I was always getting people asking me for advice.
Sure.
And I kind of just enjoyed being that sort of, I wouldn't say like fatherly figure, but just being able to help people out. So I thought, do you know what? I'll just make a couple of reels, and I enjoyed doing that.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where this just started from. I think it was a year ago, and I was like, this could be quite helpful to someone.
Yeah.
Popped a reel up, suddenly people enjoyed it, and
People, follow it.
Yeah.
Well, as I say, I think it's because of that style that you have. I think it's that sort of informative. People like learn from it. I know I have. I've been like I was saying to you before, I'm like bookmarking certain things that you put up and looking at it, and it's actually very helpful. Like it's because there's a lot of content out there. There's loads of different things going on. But I know for you, like it's grown a lot in the last sort of year or so, like because of the way that you do it. And I think it's definitely really helpful and informative. So obviously, definitely, like I think that's why people are following and enjoying learning about it. And as I say, from there, like you've got into it and you've been documenting that along the way and giving that advice. And I really like the advice that you gave before in terms of like when people are first coming into it. For you, I guess, then in that journey, what's been like some sort of standout races maybe that you've had in that long journey?
Oh, standout races. I think my favourite race to date was when I did London for the first time this year, actually.
Yeah.
Because I'd run a marathon, but in training.
Sure.
And because I was doing the 70.3, the half Ironman distance, I'd never fully stepped up to the full marathon distance. So I'd never had the opportunity to run a marathon.
Yeah.
And I thought, do you know what? I'm going to give London a go. And it was just, even though it was suffering all day long.
It was a hot one. It was super hot, right?
It was just the atmosphere in London is just incredible.
Yeah.
Every part of the race is just people cheering you on. You've got the drums. It's just amazing. And you see London from a whole new perspective.
Yeah.
And being able to be part of that was amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty special in London. I can definitely see that. And sort of like going, like, so I'm going to come a little bit back to the running actually, like later on. Mm-hmm. What's your maybe favourite place to go cycling? Because I know that you've done it sort of in different places around the world. And, have you got any places that you'd really like to go in the future and go out and do?
I've actually got a top 3, to be honest. So I think number 1 is got to be Mallorca.
Yeah.
The amount of cyclists out there, you feel part of a really big community.
Oh, really?
You go out there, there's people coming down the road, it's always very high. Sure. There's cycling cafes, and it's just an amazing place to be.
Yeah.
It feels a part of the world where
cycling cafes, I love that. Yeah. It's a cafe for cycling.
Exactly. It's just where I feel cyclists have priority over cars, and they really do respect it out there.
Yeah.
The second one is Pembrokeshire in West Wales, because it's my home soil.
Sure.
And it's just nostalgic riding the roads that I started cycling on.
Yeah.
And I think number 3, it's got to be the Brecon Beacons in Wales as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Spent a lot of time
2 in Wales. You just love hills quite
I
clearly.
do. Anything uphill, and I like. Yeah.
No, Nice. And why would you say the Brecon Beacons? Why is that for you?
It's just difficult riding. It's technical riding.
Yeah.
The weather can be it can change so quickly because you're not at altitude, but you're up in the mountains and you've got to be prepared.
Yeah.
And then you can climb up for an hour and you've got the most beautiful descents.
Yeah.
It's just a really great. I feel a lot of fitness was built there for me.
Wow, there you are. That's definitely like some spots to check out. And obviously, as we mentioned before, you're a runner as well. Like you've done a fair few. So like before we get into London and everything else, what other races have you done so far? Because you're saying you've done like some different halves along the way and stuff.
Yeah, I've done so many halves, to be honest, more than I can remember. But I think my standout one is probably, I'm going back to Wales again, but it'll be the Llanelli half marathon.
Oh yeah.
And the reason I say that is because it's my PB.
Oh really?
My PB.
Wow. I mean, isn't it not hilly though? Is it like a flat course? Or?
Yeah, it is quite hilly, to be honest. And I think that's when I was training with those boys who were training for GB.
Sure.
And I haven't been able to just really replicate that since. I felt fit and I was younger.
Yeah.
Not that I'm old, but I was younger. So it just stands out to me as one of my favourite races to date.
Nice, and that's where you've got your half PB.
That's where I've got my half PB.
Interesting. I feel like that's going to be knocked down. For sure. Like,
I hope. Fingers crossed.
Like, I think they say your like best marathon years are like it's between like 25 and 35. That's what it says. So around about 30 is when people sort of hit their peak. So I feel like you've got something there.
I got 2 years,
especially if it's up a hill. I mean, come on, like you can definitely knock that one down if you want to. So as you mentioned before, obviously you took on London this year, and you sort of said it was one of your favourite races. You touched on it briefly, but like how did it go? I know it was hot. I know it was hard out there. Like what was maybe your goals for the race? Like how did it play out?
My goal was sub 3.
Was it? Okay.
It was, and I came in at 3:05.
Right. Okay. It's pretty close.
It was pretty close.
Yeah.
And
especially on a hot day.
Yes. I think I was perhaps a little bit too overambitious for my first full marathon.
Sure. Yeah.
And my friends always take the mick. They always say you are awful at pacing a race.
Really?
Which is entirely true. I went out too hard, and I'll just admit that I went out too hard.
Yeah.
And I learnt the hard way. 30k hit me like a bus. I started cramping, and it was just downhill from there.
Yeah.
But lessons learned.
It was hard there, especially like with the weather, with all of that. That's where you often get like cramps because you're losing all the salt and everything's that going on. So and at 3:05 on your first ever marathon is very respectable. It's a very respectable time.
Thank you.
I think you can definitely take some pride in that and know that there's probably more to come. And do you think you're going to maybe take on another marathon at some point? Is that the plan?
Yeah, I would like to. So I've got a couple of big triathlon races this year, so it's not going to be 2025, but I would like to try take on another marathon in early 2026. Hopefully when I've got that winter miles.
Nice.
Maybe that's the time.
Nice. Have you got any in mind? Anywhere that you want to go?
I've got Newport Marathon in mind.
Nice.
I think it's one of the 6th fastest marathons in the world now, actually.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
that's a good place to go then.
Yeah, and it's only up the road, which is
like
great.
early. What time of year is that in?
I think it's around about the same time as London.
Okay, so you might just be a bit cooler, hopefully.
Yeah,
it's probably a bit cooler in
and it's always raining in Wales anyway.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at. Although I went to Wales just this past weekend and it was boiling hot. I actually did like a 27k out around the trails, and it was really hard.
Was it?
It was so hard.
The one day a year.
I mean, I don't know if it was because like since because I'm doing like the tri prep at the minute and stuff, I've like basically taken a bit of a break from running just to give my legs a bit of a rest, because I've gone off the back of marathons basically for the last year and a bit, and I'm going to go right back into them in September and so on. So like for about 18 months, so it will be just marathons in that time pretty much. And so I was like taking a break, and then my friend was like, "Oh yeah, we're just going to do this 27k whilst you're here," and it was
just
I don't know if that was just what really hit, but I mean it was just so many hills. It is Wales, right?
Yeah, 27k in Wales is, I'd say, equivalent to 35, 40 in London.
Yeah, well, it felt like equivalent to like 200k to us. So I don't know what was, but it was good fun. It was good fun. And so obviously, as well as that, like you took on the 10K a day that you did over sort of 31 days last year for Dementia UK.
Yeah.
What inspired you to take on that challenge?
So our family's had a pretty difficult time with dementia.
Sure.
We've had dementia on both my mum and my dad's side, and both at the same time, which was incredibly difficult. I remember my grandfather would ring 2-3 times in the night.
Really?
Yeah, it was really difficult. So it was a constant battle at the end. So we kind of wanted to give back to Dementia UK because they're a big charity who gave a lot of advice.
Yeah.
And it actually just happened once at the dinner table at Christmas. Me and my brother had a few beers. We're like, do you know what? Let's run 10K a day for dementia. We popped the story up, said we're going to do it, and then we just had to.
Yeah. Once you told everyone that you've got to do it, right?
Exactly. We had to commit to it.
I guess at the time, like, were you thinking like, 10K a day? Like, that seems, because I'm sure you could run 10K at that point, you know?
Yeah.
So you were probably thinking, let's just do it each day, right? Like,
Yeah. Oh, it adds up.
Not quite the ease that you might think. I mean, 10K a day is still a fair distance. People listen to this will probably be like, that's still a lot, like, no matter what.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you've done a bit, you might think, I could build up to it. But every day for 31 days, you're gonna.
That's it. And I think a lot of people say, some people say 10K a day is not that much. But then if you have 2 days off and you can have a rest, it's so much easier. But the fact you've just got to go out and do it. But the worst thing, I think, was we did it in January, which is the coldest month. Yeah. So some mornings it was wet, it was windy, and it was cold. And you could feel it in your knee joints. And, it got to probably 15 days in, and we thought, we're not even halfway.
Yeah. Just thinking, like, what do you do from here?
Yeah.
What was, like, the support from, like, family and friends and stuff at that time? Like,
It was great, actually.
Yeah.
All close family were really supportive, sharing it, trying to spread the news.
Yeah.
And we actually got quite a lot of recognition from London newspapers, which was really surprising.
Yeah.
London Live did a little piece on us, and Dementia UK posted us onto various different platforms. Nice. So we're really impressed by the
support. And I know you raised like a lot of money like for the cause as well. Wasn't it? How much was it that you raised?
Yeah. I can't remember off the top of my head, to be totally honest. But I know it was,
you smashed the target though, didn't you?
We did, we did. So that was really nice to see.
Yeah, it's amazing. I was wondering what the support is like, because I know, like, obviously you'd expect there to be lots of support on the way, but also I know for people who like listen to this as well, if you train for like London Marathon, for example, you're training through January, you're training through February, and it's pretty miserable. And and I always remember like my mum when I was training for like London, because I was 18. I remember being like, do you need to go out today? Do you need, have a rest today? Like, she still does it now. She's like, do you need to run that marathon? I'm like, I'm in the middle of Tokyo, Mum. I'm running it tomorrow. Like, yes, I do.
It's come a long way for this.
Yeah, but she'd be like, it comes from a good place. She's like, you should just take a break. I don't know why you do this. Like, she just puts me through so much stress, So I was just wondering along the way, like, it must have been hard as well for like your family as well to see, like, because you were doing it with your brother as well, like the sort of struggle that must have been. Thinking,
Yeah, I to be honest, I think without my brother, the challenge would have been so much harder. Yeah. There were some days where we really just carried each other through. Yeah. I actually developed an ankle injury, I think, on day 12. And I remember ringing my friend who's a physio and saying, what can I do? I've got no option but to run this. Yeah. So we were bandaging it up in various different stiffness tapes just to try and manage it. Yeah.
What did the physio say? Like, what was... Because I often find the physio will be quite honest.
Yeah, he said, do you know what? It's terrible at the moment.
Really?
If you weren't doing this challenge, I would tell you to take a month off, but you've got no choice.
Yeah.
So we were ice bathing it. We were rubbing ibuprofen gel on it. I had a heat lamp and I was rotating it between hot and cold to try and get the blood to it.
There's a lot to do from day 12,
Yes, yeah.
You've got a long way to go with that.
It was. And I think that was probably the hardest part of the challenge, was that day 15, say 25. Yeah. Because you've done so much, but you feel you've got so much more to go. Yeah. When you're on 28, 29, it's just that last couple of days. Yeah. And we got a big group on the last day to come out and run it with us, which was nice.
Yeah, really nice. I guess in those times as well, like, what do you think about? Like, how do you get through that time? Like, where's the strength coming from?
I think my family and my brother as well. Yeah. We really were just quite supportive. Sure. We've got a really good relationship, which is really nice, because I live with my brother at the moment. Yeah. And it was just that encouragement. And then I had friends and family saying, sharing it, donating.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people donated in that darkest phase then. It felt like, we've got to keep going,
Yeah.
Got to keep pushing
Thinking
it.
about the cause itself, yeah.
Exactly.
I think often that is something that pushes you along, right? I mean, when you need it. And so, like, what did you take away from that experience? And what did you learn? And how's that maybe impacted your sort of training going forward?
Oh, don't run every single day. You will get an injury. And it's not efficient to do. And I think one of the most important things for me was just realizing how much my body can take.
Sure.
From that, I know when to stop.
Yeah.
I still sometimes get the injury coming back, so it's keeping on top of my rehab. And if I feel the slightest pain, I just move my training about so I'm not running for 2-3 days.
Yeah.
And since that, I've recognized the symptoms. And I haven't been injured since.
So it's helped you to be able to like listen to your body a bit more, I guess, and be
100%.
Yeah.
And I think it's one of those things where you can only learn the hard way.
Yeah.
Because so many people will get injured and then learn from it.
Yeah.
But you can tell someone, don't do that. But until it's happened to them, they'll still go out and do it.
Yeah. Like people sometimes need to find their like limits, don't they? In a way, like. But like in a safe sort of manner. But I definitely find that I've found the same. I'd be like, oh, I'm okay. I've done this and I've done that, and then you certainly find an injury. But try and listen to the advice you get and the support from like either the physio or the different guidance out there. But it's good to learn from it, isn't it, and grow. And sometimes it comes from experience, just like
it does.
On the bike and like in running. And
I feel like after doing it for so many years now as well. I know when I'm about to be injured. I know when I'm fatigued. I can recognize the symptoms.
Yeah.
There's even things like if I drink coffee when I'm fatigued, doesn't have the same effect.
Right.
I don't feel that buzz. It just feels like I've drank a glass of water. I don't feel energized.
Oh, really?
Or I can stand up and I might feel a little bit lightheaded.
Yeah.
When I'm at that level, I know I've got to take some time off.
That's really interesting.
Yeah.
Just be able to.
And as well as that, I can recognize the changes in my heart rate, which is really interesting. I can be pushing, but I won't get high enough, or if I'm not pushing, my heart rate's just still elevated. There's so many things I've learned over the years, and I feel like I can read my body now without even looking at my heart rate monitor. I know where I'm at, which is
really
quite interesting. Yeah,
that's really interesting actually, in terms of being able to listen to it and regulate from there and feel it from there. That's definitely something to take away from that, but also from all of the other stuff that you've done. And obviously you completed your first Ironman 70.3 in Weymouth in 2018. How many have you completed since then?
I've done 3 70.3s.
Nice.
It was Weymouth, Cotswolds, and a really small one back in Wales, which was it was only a really small event, to be honest. It's not like Ironman brand or anything like that.
Yeah, but it was the distance. Yeah, cool.
And I think a lot of people say to me, you don't race much. I think the thing for me is I actually just enjoy the process.
Sure.
I enjoy having a schedule, know what training I'm doing, and having that structure and enjoyment of the training. Like I really just do enjoy going out, doing swim, bike, run.
Sure.
As for a lot of people go out and they train for a race and that's it, they're done. I enjoy that process of getting from A to B.
Yeah.
And that for me is why I do it a lot of the time.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just because you want to have that experience, you want to enjoy it rather than thinking about maybe what's coming out. That's really interesting.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people are quite driven by like races and thinking what's coming next, and like I personally quite like having like a different goal to work to. But for you, like you can maybe just enjoy the process as well, which I think is really interesting.
Yeah, exactly.
And obviously this September you're going to be taking on your first full Ironman, which is in Wales. What part of Wales are you doing that in? Is it?
So it's actually going to be on home road. So it's the Ironman is in Tenby.
Oh, okay.
Which is in Pembrokeshire. My family live back in Pembrokeshire.
Right. Yeah.
So it's going to be on
swim like in the harbour there.
It is. Yeah. It's on Tenby North Beach.
Right.
And they sing the national anthem around it in the morning. Just watching it gives me goosebumps. So
oh wow.
It's going to be such an experience being in the water there.
Yeah.
I can't wait. And as well, I'm bricking it, to be honest.
That's all right. What's the date of that event, by the way?
It's the 21st of September, I think.
21st.
The 20th or 21st.
Okay, cool. Great. Well, because this episode is actually going out in September, so it'll be just a couple of weeks before. So when people listen to this, you'll be sort of nearing tapering, I guess, at that point. I don't know how you taper for that. Is it similar to?
Yes, it's going to be a 2-week taper.
Okay.
For that, I want to be as fresh as I can.
Yeah.
But not too fresh that I feel horrible on the day. So it's just going to be 2 weeks of just taking over.
Yeah,
a bit of high intensity work and crossing my fingers.
Yeah, just keeping yourself safe.
Yeah.
Have you always wanted to do that sort of distance? Have you always, because obviously if you've done 70.3, so have you always wanted to go for that full Ironman?
Yeah, I've always preferred the longer distance stuff, to be honest. When I did a lot of cycling events when I first got into it, I'd always do the big rides, the 140, 150 mile kind of things.
Yeah.
I don't know what, I've always felt I was just better engineered to do that kind of stuff.
Sure.
So I've always wanted to build up to the Ironman.
Yeah.
But then I didn't want to do too much too soon,
Yeah.
I wanted to go in feeling completely ready for it.
Yeah, and I mean, you've done that, right? If you've done these 70.3s 3 times, I guess you've got that experience now. You know what it kind of looks like.
Yeah.
And now it's just that, like, step up, right?
Exactly. And I've just done the long course weekend
Right.
a couple of weekends ago, which is basically the thing over spread over 3 days. So
Yeah.
I feel it's given me a confidence now that I can go in on Ironman Day and do what I want. This time I think I need to be more ambitious at my targets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In what way? Like, how would that look?
Well, I'd like to go there and qualify for Kona and go to the World Champs.
Yeah.
But the sport is growing so rapidly that there's so much competition now.
Yeah.
Obviously, the slots aren't as readily available
Yeah,
as I'd
yeah.
like.
Sure. But that's the goal. That's what you'd like to do.
One day I would love to qualify for Kona, go to Hawaii and do the World Champs. That's the ultimate bucket list for me.
Let's make it happen. I think it can happen for sure.
Let's hope.
Absolutely. We're gonna look back on this clip and we're gonna say, there we are. See, we know all along.
I hope.
So as I mentioned, this episode's going to be going out just before you take it on, and I wanted to sort of think about what your training itself is going to look like over the next couple of months, in the meantime. So what does that look like for you?
So I'm currently in a build phase, and it's essentially now all my training now is getting in a stage where it's sort of replicating what the race is going to be like.
Yeah.
So today I did a 2.5 hour run. Tomorrow, then I've got a 4-hour ride with a bit of a run off the bike.
Sure.
So I feel like I've done my slow base miles now.
Yeah.
But now I'm just doing the long mileage, but building some sort of race pace intensity. So it's just getting as close to the intensity I want on the day as possible.
What kind of distances are they looking like for like the 2.5 hours that you're out running, and obviously the cycle tomorrow?
So 2.5 hours will probably be around the 30k-ish mark.
Sure.
Depending on the intensity. Today I did 1 hour zone 2, 45-minute build. Mm-hmm. So I was building up more into my marathon pace and then went just above it.
Yeah.
And then it was a nice zone 2 cool down.
Cool.
But it's really hard to find the balance as well, because if you do too much intensity, you're almost cooked for the next day.
Yeah, and then tomorrow you've got to go and do a ride for how long? 4.5 hours?
4 hours tomorrow, and then 4 on Sunday as well.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's a lot. It just means a lot of early morning, so I have some sort of life going on still.
Yeah.
Otherwise, the whole day is taken up. It's getting ready, lying on the sofa for 2 hours after the ride, questioning why I'm doing this.
Yeah, I feel you. I've certainly been there for sure. Like after a long run, thinking I'm absolutely cooked. So tomorrow, like what time are you going to get out? Like how does it look? Like is it an early start?
It's going to be an early start. I try get out probably 7 o'clock.
Sure. Obviously, like you're based here in London, so like where do you go for that kind of distance? Like, how can people get out for it?
The thing I'm struggling with in London is the lack of hills, if I'm totally honest, because Wales is notoriously hilly. The bike leg. So I'm doing as much of Box Hill as I can at the moment.
Right.
But it's almost flat there. You go up, so I'm kind of doing reps.
Yeah.
Other than that, I'll often ride to Windsor.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful, beautiful ride, that one. Right?
It is. It's Goat Cafe there as well. You've got the Cinnamon Cafe.
Yeah.
Best cinnamon buns ever.
Yeah, right in the station, isn't it? Like right in
Yeah.
Nice.
Other than that, there's some good hills in North London, which is quite nice.
Yeah.
The thing is, because I'm southwest, it's just such a trek to get there.
Yeah.
that
Yeah,
I
yeah.
spend half of my rides sat behind a taxi or a bus. So
That is the thing as well, isn't it? Just like trying to get out in a sort of straight direction. Like
Yeah.
for sure, you spend a good sort of 5 or 10k
exactly
on the roads. But
yeah.
but yeah, that sounds great. And obviously then like you're swimming as well. So like,
Mhm.
what's that looking like in the week? Like, are you sort of?
I've started trying to swim before work, if I'm
Sure.
totally honest. A
Yeah.
lot of, because it's building up now, there's often double session days.
Yeah.
So it might be a 2-hour run in the evening and a swim.
Yeah.
But by the time if I'm in the office, by the time I get home from work, have dinner, the last thing I want to do is do a 2-hour run and then a swim.
That's madness, isn't it? It feels mad.
It is crazy.
But it's got to be done. Like somewhere or another, you've got to find the time, right?
Exactly. You know, an Ironman, the average time I think is about 13, 14 hours. It's a long day.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
yeah.
you've got to be doing that kind of training
Yeah.
to just get through it, let alone have a really good time.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
yeah.
you know, when I started, I was thinking, double days, that's crazy. Now I have one training session a day. I'm like, oh, what a win.
Yeah. It is mad, isn't it, when you hit those sessions and
Yeah.
you know, whether it be in training for a marathon or training for different things. I know, like for an Ironman, it does take, because you've got to do all the different disciplines as well. So
Yeah.
it's not like you're just, and obviously, like I'm training at the moment for the tri, not to the same, like it's an Olympic tri, so it's obviously not as much to do, but nonetheless, you are like, oh yeah, like it's like a long, like 3 hours on the bike or whatever, and it's just it's a lot, because as you say, well, maybe when you're training for something else, you might think, okay, well, that day's going to be the rest day the next day. Like after your run today, that would usually be tomorrow be a rest day.
Yeah.
You wouldn't think, oh yeah, I'm going to stick another 4 hours on the bike.
I know. And then you've got to do strength and conditioning so you don't get injured again on top. And it's,
yeah.
It really is a lifestyle.
Yeah.
People say when you start training for an Ironman, it will take over your life.
Yeah.
And that is entirely true.
Yeah. Like what, like in the week, I guess, like how many hours do you reckon you're training for the week at the moment?
At the
will be
moment,
the max?
Sorry?
Or will be like when you hit like your max sort of training time as well?
Yeah. At the moment, I'd say a quiet week will be between 10 and 12 hours.
Sure.
The midsection would be 14 to 15, and then the big weeks will be 17, 18 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
they're long weeks.
So the reality of that is, because do you have like a day off in that week? Do you have any?
Yeah, sometimes I'll take a Thursday off. Thursday's a big office day for me, and it's
Sure.
usually the day where I work late and just sort of give the whole day up to work and
So that's the day where you're like, I'll have the rest on that day.
I'll have the rest. Yeah, I find after those days in work though, I'm so mentally drained that it's not even worth me starting a session, to be honest. So that's usually my rest day.
Yeah.
By the Friday then, I usually feel pretty fresh and ready to go, which is quite
Good.
nice.
Yeah, feeling a bit better for it. And the reality is like that looks like even on those quieter weeks, it's still like about 2 hours a day of training, right? And then when it picks up, you're looking at three hours, which around a job as well, like as you said, like you're a lawyer, like you're not sort of, it's not easy days, you know. It's hard to fit that in. So like what drives you in that time? Like how do you find the motivation when, you know, when you've had a long day and things are tough? How do you go, I'm going to do this?
This is a really interesting point, because someone asked me this the other day. They say, do you not want to just go home, put your feet up and watch TV? And I think I put an Instagram story up and I said, I never can just sit still.
Yeah.
I've always got this itch that I can never scratch. I always need to be doing something. So, you know, before work, if I wake up early, I'm just trying to do something. I might make a reel, then I work. And if I find if I come home, just sit down, I'm like, I don't want to do this. I need to be doing something that's going to be productive or benefit me in some way.
Yeah. And have you always been that way, do you think?
I've always been like that. I've always got to do something.
Sure.
Like my girlfriend says a lot of the time, you know, when we're watching a film, you're just like, you want to move. And I'm like, yeah, I do. I do. So
just like can't sit still, basically.
Exactly. So I think that's probably where it comes from. There just needs to be scratching that itch, I suppose, you know?
No, I feel you for sure. I think even like when you come off the back of a race, you finish like this, you know, this block or whatever it might be, you often might say, okay, I'll have a couple of days, or like I'll have a week or longer. And I find after like maybe 2 or 3 days, I start to think, I kind of miss running.
Yeah.
Like, and I actually like that process. I do like that time to make myself miss it again.
Yeah.
Because
definitely.
and the minute, for example, as I say, I'm not doing as much running because I'm trying to give it a rest, but also to do the other parts that I know I need to do. and also so that when I hit that block in September, I'm actually like, great. Like, I can't tell you the amount of time I've been swimming this week. And in the pool, which I mean, I don't find it that enjoyable in the pool, I'll be honest with you. I've been thinking to myself, I can't wait to be out running again.
Yeah, don't worry. I don't enjoy it that much in the pool either.
Literally. Honestly, I didn't think many people do, right? But yeah, I spend so much time literally doing like, I can't wait to be feeling like I know what I'm doing, which is hard. But it's also good to put yourself in that place. And I think for people listening to this and stuff, and as I say, I'm not super confident when it comes to cycling, and I'm not super confident when it comes to swimming as well. But I never was before in running. It's only because of the consistency and the time and the practice in that's got me maybe to a place where I'm doing better at it. But I think that's often what people need to take away as well, is like those times where you maybe started out, you maybe weren't as confident in certain aspects of it, and actually it just took the consistency and the hours to put it in, right?
Definitely, yeah. Just being consistent, learning constantly. Yeah, you'll never. I'm constantly learning as well. There's so much to know that just accept that we'll never know it all, and just want to know more.
Yeah, it's the only way you're going to learn, right? Like,
exactly.
You know. Yeah, I saw that. I think there was something with Kipchoge saying something like this week, and he was saying something about like the fact that he's always learning, like he's always a student. Yeah, it's like if Kipchoge is saying that, then I think we can all learn something from it.
I think there's a lot of power as well in accepting that there's so much we all just don't know. Yeah, when a lot of people think I know everything about running. Yes, we've all got separate experiences. One person's run is so much different to another person's, and being able to like pick bits off different people and their experience, you could just learn infinite amounts. Yeah,
100%. I think, like I've talked about it before, in terms of the fact that a lot of the reasons why I didn't do a lot of sports when I was younger is just because I didn't want to feel like I was not good at it, and I felt that a lot. Like I remember like joking with pals, being like, you can't really run that well, and it was just the fact that you didn't do it and you didn't learn it. So like when people say to me now, and obviously the podcast is called Running for the Bus, as people say that, they're like, I could never do that, I can't run for the bus, and it's like, you could because I couldn't. Like, and I wasn't, I wasn't like sort of, I was relatively skinny and stuff, like, and could maybe run for like maybe a couple of minutes, but I just wouldn't have the confidence, and I wouldn't do it. And I think a lot of the time the confidence comes from just getting out there and trying it and doing it and learning.
Yeah, right? And that's, I think, the most fun phase of it all, when you're just starting. Yeah, because there's so much as well that you could think, I'm right at the bottom, the progress I can make is massive.
Yeah, I love that outlook on it. Because I feel like people often don't have that. They compare themselves to people say to me that, I'll go running with people, and they'll be like, oh no, I don't want to go running with you, like you're going to be whatever, and it's like, well, no, we'll do it together. This experience will be together. Like when this actual episode goes out, it's going to be just before I do the Great North Run, and I'm doing it with my family, and they've my dad and my stepmom, my cousin, and we're doing it in memory of my aunt who passed away of cancer last year. So we're raising money for cancer research at Macmillan. Yeah, and obviously they're getting into it, and they're learning, and they're all on like runner plans that we set them up with and stuff, and so they're all sort of doing all of that, and it's actually, like I sort of say to them, enjoy the experience, because the only way you can grow is by starting out and getting out there and doing it right. So I think
learn to love the process.
Exactly. Yeah. So when I feel a little bit of a novice on the bike, and I'm maybe slipping all over the place, and not quite managing that seat, that is just painful all the time, I feel.
Oh, you'll get there. You're doing great, I'm sure.
But it is that. It's actually saying, okay, well, it's okay to not be good at it. 100%. Yeah, like to actually get better at it. So absolutely. And like over the course of training, I think sometimes when we're fully into it, and you sort of said that you're going to be going into like 20-hour weeks, or like at some point, I think it was 20 hours max.
Yeah, about 18, 19 probably at max.
Getting into that sort of 18, 19 then. So over that time, I think we can lose sight a little bit of why we're doing it, and the reason, and like, you as I say, you sometimes maybe start to fall out of love with it at some point, like understandably. So what advice would you give yourself now that you want to hopefully have for that weekend, like by the time you've got through it all?
Oh, I think remember when you booked it, how excited you were to do that race. Yeah. And I think as well as remember how far I've come. Sure. I'm a person that's awful at comparing myself to the next person above me. someone's doing a 5K in this time and that time. And I forget, hang on a minute. A few years ago, I was so much further back to where I am now that you forget that journey where you've come from. Yeah. And you're always just looking for the next best thing. And I'm terrible at it. Yeah. So I think the thing I'd say to myself is, look what you're about to do next week. Remember that first day you got on a bike. You'd be so impressed with where you are now. Yeah. So it would just be that, just look back in the fact that where you've come from kind of thing. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And obviously we touched on as well in terms of like the content that you put out and the way that you sort of educate people with it. And over this time, I'm sure you're going to be putting out different things. So like, what do you want people to take away from what they see you do over that time? With my content, I just want people to learn from kind of my mistakes in a way. Yeah. And that's why I want my content to be educational and just straight to the point. I want to give people as much information as I can in such a short space of time. So that's why I showed 60 seconds is everything you'll need to know. Yeah. Yeah. And I just love people to follow my Ironman journey, see what I might have done right or what I might have done wrong. And then they can go into their race and go, I won't do that because Ben did that wrong. And look what he did. Yeah. Yeah. Just like a super honest reflection of it. Exactly. And I'm trying to be really truthful with the good days and the bad days in the training. Yeah. Because, I think a lot of people on social media, it all looks amazing. Yeah. They're having the most perfect runs. When we're not. Some days we go out and it's horrendous. We hate every single kilometre. Yeah. And it's just being open and honest about that and learning from it. For sure. And I think that's actually a really good way to do it for people to see that journey, as you say, because there is days, no matter how much you do it, how long you do it, that 27K I did last weekend was hard. Like it was not easy. Yeah. And it's actually good to see that, we all sort of have different days and listening to your body and responding to it in that way. And so I think that's great. And I think that's why people resonate with it so much. And finally, we ask this question to everyone on the podcast. And what I'd like to sort of ask it to you in particular is, what would you say to somebody who is perhaps contemplating at some point doing their first Ironman, but says to you, I could never do that. I can't even run for the bus. Okay. Wow, that's a great question. I think just take it stage by stage. As we were going back to earlier, it's small baby steps, week in, week out, and then a month, over a year. Yeah. And then suddenly you might not be able to run 1K, and then it'll be slowly 5K and 10K. And then suddenly you're doing 20K runs on, a Thursday night. And it can happen and you can become blind to the fact of where you've come from. So it would just go out, make a small start. Yeah. And just as well learn from the mistakes you make along the way. Yeah. I love that. It kind of linked back in actually to what we were talking about before, didn't it? In terms of the, don't lose sight of where you've come from, basically, in terms of from there. And I think as well, one thing I'd probably add is there is so much support out there. There's so much you can learn from other people. Like I tried to promote with my content. Yeah. Don't be scared to ask questions. Just everyone's in the same position. Yeah. And just enjoy it. Just enjoy the process. Yeah, I love that, and it's so true, as you say. I have people ask me about stuff of running, obviously in particular, and I know I've bombarded you with questions about cycling and stuff, and it's true. And lots of people are there to help, and obviously it's about finding those people that you can trust and who are out there, because there is a whole load of stuff. So it's just making sure that that where you're getting it from is trustworthy. And I know people look at your content and they see that. So thanks so much for coming on today. I really do appreciate it. Great to join you. Thank you. As this goes out, it'll be just before the race. Good luck with it all. Thank you. I can't wait to see you smash it, and can't wait to see you take it to the championships in a couple of years' time as well. Maybe, but yeah, appreciate that. Thank you, mate. Incredible. Thank you for listening to this episode of Running for the Bus, presented by BKDMC. Thank you to our guest today, Ben Griffiths, Runner, and the podcast rooms for their support. You can get 2 weeks free runner coaching using the code BKDMC. Head to the Ben Kelleher DMC Insta now to find the tread playlist, the rookie runners training plan, information on how you can become a deliriously mad challenger, and lots more. And if you've enjoyed the show, well, what are you waiting for? Hit follow and you'll be notified every time a new episode drops. We'd also love to hear from you, so do drop us a message or leave a review. See you next time on Running for the Bus, where you can listen and watch on the run, on the bus, or whilst you're running for it.